We begin tonight with the immutable fact that if you didn't know the public OJ Simpson of 20 years and 1 week ago, I can never explain, I can never convey, I can never describe just how popular he was. In the sad and in many quarters still startled commemoration of the 20th anniversary of the white Bronco car chase, the beginning of the OJ Simpson most people think of, there seems to have been only passing reference to one of the most amazing transformations in American history, let alone American sports history. On June 17, 1994, 20 years ago, when the L.A. Police Department finally admitted Simpson was a suspect in the murder of his ex-wife and Ronald Goldman, and then said he was turning himself in, and then said no, he had not shown up and was now in fact a fugitive from justice, and then his attorney implied he had fled to go kill himself, and then the car chase played out in front of 95 million TV witnesses, all in one day. One of the most popular people in America instantly became its greatest living villain. There's no hypothetical comparison in the America of today with the internet, with the paparazzi, with the maxed out cynicism about sports and television and celebrity. There is nobody who was as Teflon as the OJ Simpson of pre-June 1994. Maybe, and I apologize to him for even dragging his name into this hypothetically. Maybe it would be as if Derek Jeter were a murder suspect and he'd fled and the police chase was being shown live on every television channel. But even that absurd hypothetical isn't good enough. O.J. Simpson was Jeter plus. He was not just a star athlete, virtually uncriticized, instantly recognizable nationwide. He had become one of the most prominent sportscasters and one of the most prominent actors and one of the most prominent advertising spokesmen. O.J. Simpson, the football player, was one thing. O.J. Simpson was also O.J. Simpson, the rental car pitchman. Go, O.J., go. O.J. Simpson was also O.J. Simpson from NBC Sports. O.J. Simpson was also O.J. Simpson as Nordberg in the Naked Gun movies. And he was also O.J. Simpson, the wife batterer. But he lived in the era, at the end of the era, where the public persona was not only all that people knew about him, it was also all that people wanted to know about him. In 1994, we thought we were living in the middle of the tabloid era. In fact, we were just 9 years removed from actor Rock Hudson shocking untold Americans by dying of AIDS, because for 30 years he'd been the heartthrob of millions of women, a staggering percentage of whom had no earthly clue that he was gay or Liberace. I loathe the tabloid era and lament what it has done to American sports, to American entertainment, to America. But there is one thing to be said for this America, where an actor can call his whiny little daughter a whiny little daughter and then hear it broadcast nationwide within hours. And O.J. Simpson in 2014 would not have been able to hide his true self for 1 week. Whatever the full stories are, whatever miscarriages of justice there may be in either direction, you know about Ray Rice, you know about Jason Kidd, you know about Christian Peter. You would have known about O.J. Simpson. Early on New Year's morning, January 1st, 1989, a 25th anniversary this year, which no one commemorated. Police went to the infamous home on North Rockingham in Brentwood and arrested O.J. Simpson on spousal battery charges. He had punched and kicked his wife. She said he had screamed, "I'll kill you." He had slapped her so hard that the police said his handprint was still visible on her neck when police arrived, and when she wound up in the hospital and he wound up at the precinct station. And O.J. Simpson's reaction? Officers on the scene quoted him in their official report as saying, "The police have been out here 8 times before, and now you're going to arrest me for this? This is a family matter. Why do you want to make a big deal out of it when we can handle it?" Today, that callous, mindless statement would have been videotaped or leaked, or in some other way, it would have made its way around the world fast enough that it would have been on the noon edition of SportsCenter the next day. In Los Angeles media, 1989, we didn't know about the assault until months later when Simpson pleaded it out. We certainly didn't know about the 9 police trips. But we knew who O.J. Simpson was. We had heard the stories hidden behind the big smile, that he hit women, that police had been to his house because he hit women, that while married, whenever he spoke to a group of students, he'd bring his creepy friend Al Cowlings with him and have Cowlings approach the girls O.J. was interested in to provide himself deniability. We knew, and between the laws and customs that still protected the man in domestic cases 90% of the way, and the laws and customs of a one-industry town like Los Angeles that still protected the celebrity 90% of the way, we could say nothing about his character. And so my clearest memory of 20 years ago, of covering the murder, the investigation, the hearings, the trial on SportsCenter, is not the car chase It is not the sense of the shock of the revelation of the real O.J. Simpson. I never felt that. I only witnessed it. It was of sitting at my desk in the newsroom and first hearing of the murders and being consumed by a dreadful sinking feeling. The note in our internal computer news file said that Simpson had flown to Chicago, but police were asking him to fly back to L.A., but just for questions. It wasn't like he was a suspect or something. Over the nausea, I made a few phone calls to ex-colleagues and a police source in L.A., and I can still feel myself hanging up the phone after the last call and getting up from my desk to go talk to the news editors, to go tell people, some of whom were still saying, poor O.J., that I had just been told, not a suspect, he's our only suspect, to tell these people that all they thought they knew about O.J. Simpson was a lie, and to tell them that I had been one of the people who helped protect that lie.